Hello everyone, welcome back to Humble Acres. My name is Jordan and we're going to be working on this FJ today. The goal of this video today is to get the rear axle put back on this, get the brakes hooked up. I'll probably have to switch out the master cylinder. We'll need to bleed the brakes. Pretty much everything we did on the other one we now have to do on this one. So I'm going to gloss over quite a bit of all this stuff because we've done it in all the other videos. We need to get the fender put back on here, we need to get the hood put back on here, and we need to get the seats mounted back in there, and we also need to get the transmission tunnel put back on there too. All of those parts are down in the hen house down there, so need to go get those. That's really where we're at right now, so we really just need to get everything put back together and get this thing sold. Still waiting on the title. Should be here any moment, I would think, but you never know. Alright, the rear axle is on. Yeah, it'll be fine. I didn't put the new rear shocks on because I just didn't want to deal with taking them off. But I'll include them in the back. They can just be in there. We need to replace this hose right here because they cut it. So we're going to get that off real quick. It does look like on this side over here, this brake is leaking fluid because it's all wet. And the back is wet, and I pulled this drum off here, and the whole inside of the drum is soaked in oil, and the pads are all soaked in oil, and yeah, it's not great. It might be an axle seal, actually, or it might be brake fluid. It's really hard to say. So we're just gonna leave it for now and see how that goes. I'm sure it's not gonna work great, but as long as it's drivable, that's all we're really looking for. We got the brake line on, I got the drive shaft on. The back is pretty much done. The front, have the master cylinder we could replace. Probably should. I mean, we need to bleed all the brake system anyway, so it would make sense just to replace this now anyway, because it doesn't make sense to just leave this one on here. Even though the guy said it worked fine, so it probably is okay, but I don't know. How's the fluid look? It looks fairly clean, honestly. There's just some rust in the bottom of that bowl, but it looks clean. I don't know, it probably would work fine. I could just include the other one too. I don't want to put a ton of time into this one because I really just want to flip it quick and try to get some money back for it. So I think I'm just going to leave this master cylinder on here, and then I'll just include the other one in the sale. I think that's the easiest way to go. Hopefully this one works. It should. I was tempted to take these headers off of here and use them on my other one because the exhaust manifold on that one is broken, but I would have to modify the rest of this exhaust, and the other exhaust is terrible, and I don't think it's gonna work out the best. So I think I'm just gonna leave it on here. It'll also be an additional selling feature, so yeah, I think that's my goal right now. Let's just try to get this thing sold. So let's fill up the brake system and see if we can get some of this stuff bled off, and then maybe try to drive it, get the wheels on the back and get that set down and go from there. All right, so I added some fluid to the master cylinder and pressed the brakes, but we have a leak back here. This is the one that was all oily and stuff too. But it actually looks like this brake line right here on the inside is cracked. So it's probably rusted through. So I'm going to take that off, and I think I have one piece that's just long enough. I have this little piece right here, so I'm going to try to make a new line for that. But that's all the brake line I have left, so cross your fingers it's long enough. So we're gonna get those fittings off there, see what happens. All right, it's time to put some tires on here. I got the brakes all bled. We need to get the tires on here. The only problem is I don't have any lug nuts. For some reason, I'm really out of them. You can tell on this wheel here, I got 3 different styles of lug nuts. And over here, we only have 2. And I don't have any more. So what I've done is I actually ordered some new ones that will be here tomorrow. So those are on their way, and those are gonna go on the one I'm keeping. So it'll have all brand new lug nuts, and they actually match with these wheels, the style of these wheels. I got the ones that looked correct for the 88 Land Cruiser wheels. So we are gonna jack this up, take all of these wheels off, and then we'll use the lug nuts to get these wheels on. And then I also got my new tires for it. So get those on, which that'll actually be in a different video, dedicated tires video. So you can, I don't know when that's coming out, but it'll be up there. Go check that out. So let's get this jacked up, everything off of it, and then we'll get everything put on here. We got those tires on there. Got this tire pumped up some. The only thing holding us back from driving it now is a fuel tank. So I think I might run down there and get that, and then we can get that put in there. I don't know if there's any fuel line here. Oh yeah, the fuel lines are over there. So we just need to hook those up. It looks like this goes to the fuel sender, I would assume. And then we should be good to go there. All right, let's get this thing in here. Go under that. That seems right. This is a poly tank. I don't have this little boot here, which is probably going to be an issue. I might have to go buy another one of those. This probably hooks up to one of these two. Fuel pickup. Use inline fuel filter with this tank. Okay. Assuming this is just the vent that goes over here. So this will probably go right onto this. Like that. And then this is the pickup. So I need to figure out which of these two lines is supposed to be the pickup. It looks like it might be this little one down here because it has a hose clamp on it that's loose. I don't know what the other one is. I don't think this has a return line, so I'm gonna have to go down below and trace wherever that wire or wherever that hose goes. And then this, I assume one of these is a ground, and then this probably hooks right up to this. Well, I was correct. It is the further one in here. So let's get that hooked up. Hopefully there's nothing crazy in that line, but there is a filter on it, so it'll probably be fine. Okay, that's probably fine. It's hooked up. Yeah, this other line here is for like the evap system, but it's not hooked up there, so don't need to worry about that. So this hose here is just the vent, so get that pushed on here somehow. It's mostly on there. Well, by mostly, not really. Probably good enough. Okay, that's on. This we really need to tighten down on one of these screws here. We really just need to figure this out, and then we can put some gas in it. Let's take this seat out. So So I'm gonna get this tunnel cover in. It's just a little rust. It's fine. No problems here. No problems. You can actually see some of the Pollux orange on the underside of this cover. It's actually pretty much unpainted under there. That's cool. Now, this thing is pretty rusted over here. There's big holes, but that's what it is, so whatever. Alright, I found some hardware in one of the totes down there, so we're just gonna kind of get this fastened down so it won't move. It's not gonna be perfect. We're not gonna get every single one. Most of them are stripped out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Another problem we have here is there is a piece of sheet metal that was riveted on here, it looks like, and they drilled all the rivets out. So we're gonna need to figure out a way to get that back down, I guess. I might have some rivets. I'll probably just use some sheet metal screws actually. That'll probably be way easier. So we got this all put back together. That's screwed down good enough. This has a few bolts in it. The tank, we have all hooked up except for the little hose that goes to the filler neck there. I was actually able to find the filler neck for this. It was down with all the parts and everything down in the hen house. So I'm gonna get that put on, and then technically we should be able to drive this. It should start, put gas in there and everything. The other thing I also got was the fender and the hood, because that's been missing for a while now, so we need to get those put on and looking fancy. So we may need to find new fasteners or bolts or whatever for the hood hinges, because most of these were broken off. I actually had to extract 2 from that one, or 3. All 3 of them were broke on that one, and then this one was, I think all 3 of them were broke on here too, but that one was difficult because they had bent the bracket that's inside of there to capture, or the nuts on the inside. Anyway, I got all that done. So yeah, we're gonna try to get the fender put back on and then get the hood on, so then it's looking way better. And I think I have most of the hardware for this except the hood hinges, because I broke those, but I don't know, we'll find something. So let's get this hood and fender out of here. They're not in the best shape. There's some rust forming on the front of the hood here, and the fender also has some, but whatever. All right, so I actually do have 2 brand new fenders down in the hen house as well. A bunch of rust built up there, because why not? That's where the VIN plate goes. I actually do have that still. I need to put it on. But yeah, it's got some rust building up here. There's a big hole in the front here. But anyway, we're just not going to pay attention to any of that. We're going to get this slid back down in here on these bolts that are probably going to break off if I try tightening them. Like that. Oh, the hardware is kind of in here, so that helps. About down here. Nope. No hardware there, but we'll find something for that. Alright, the fender's mostly on. I mean, I got a couple bolts in there. It's probably not going to go anywhere. It's fine. I started messing with the wiring harness. It was just kind of tucked down in here, so I got all this stuff that I need to kind of route where it should go. I know the coil goes here, so that's the bolts that are right here. So we're gonna get that put on real quick, because that I know needs to go there. And then like we have the headlights So that'll go in there. Which looks like this wiring harness has been a little modified, so fun. Looks like the harness needs to go behind here. Like that. Yeah, I would say like that. And then this gets plugged in there. And then, oh, they just cut those wires which go to the turn signal. So that's good. We have this one, which I'm going to assume is what this connector is for, because it's not cut. So hopefully that side marker will work. Nice if I could step inside of here. Ow. All right. Okay. Well, I was able to find two, so that should be enough, right? We'll just get these put in here and we'll call that good. There. Done. These latches up here are really what holds it on. Those are just there for the looks, so just get these like this and bam, brand new. We need to get that filler hose put on and then fill it with some gas and then cross our fingers that the fuel pump works and see if we can take it for a drive. All right, we got the fuel neck put on there. We need to put some gas in it. Open this up. Actually has the correct fuel cap, so that's cool. It's probably a couple of gallons of 91 octane, no ethanol. So we'll get this in here. Hopefully there's no cracks in it or anything, because that would be a bummer. That's it. Notice how I didn't spill any gas? It's almost like I don't even need one of the safety gas cans. Yeah. But that's not a gas can, just for the record. It's a storage container. All right. We have some gas in there. I think the next logical thing to do is not put the seat in and see if it'll start and drive. Yep. It might take a little bit of cranking to actually get it to go though. So, I don't know, let's crank and see what happens. Try again. To spray a little starter fluid or something. I don't want to burn the starter up. I've actually used that. And then it might be beneficial to take this off. Okay. Sure that'll be fine. idling, so I assume it's getting some gas. Well, I assume it's sucking gas from the gas tank, because I don't think it could have ran that long and rub it without that happening, so. See if this thing can actually drive. I mean, it drove out of the garage, so that's a good thing. Oh yeah, I forgot this hardtop is not bolted down. So it might be a little rattly. And there's shocks laying in the back. And we're gonna roll around the entire time. The brakes do work though, so that's nice. Let's go down this hill. Whee! Mostly the hard top flying up and down. For a second. Hey, second words. Okay, back to first. Leisurely stroll around the field. That's fine. It's got great oil pressure. Let's go down here. Whee! That's all I don't care about this as much. Going. I don't want to do that. Alright, we're fine. Let's go up here. I've got to say that thing actually drives pretty decent. In some ways it drives better than my other one. The steering is tighter for sure. It doesn't have as many holes in the floor, but that's mostly because there's just big pieces of sheet metal in there. So, you know, that's not really a plus. But yeah, it drives fine. I actually took it down the road a little ways and it drives good. Got up to temperature, has good oil pressure. I don't know if the fuel gauge works because there's not hardly any fuel in it. Turn signals work, well, one side. The other side doesn't blink for some reason. I like the exhaust better. I like the glass pack on mine, but I want the header off this one because my exhaust manifold leaks really bad and it's really annoying to listen to. This one's so quiet you can't, well, you can hear it, but it sounds nice. So I think that's gonna be it for this one. This is kind of the point I wanted to get it back to. So once I get the title, I'm probably gonna sell it. Still have the seats to put in and stuff, but I'm probably not gonna put them in. I'm just gonna throw them in there, and I have the jump seats for the back too, but I'll just set them in there and whoever buys it can deal with that. But honestly, I think for around $7,000 to have one that's running and driving with a clean title, I think that's a pretty decent deal. The brakes work good too, so that was a big plus. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on getting this one back up and running and drivable, and we'll see you in the next one.